So, if we look at, this is your full setup. Okay? Everything else in terms of your full setup here looks good in terms of shoulders, arms here, lowercase y. But that grip for me is getting a little bit on the weaker side. So, you need to make sure that left hand, we should be able to see a bit more of the logo of your left hand, okay? Get it a bit more in the fingers and see that left hand grip.
Yeah. How much does grip make?
Yeah,
these need redoing.
Does make a bit of a difference, if I would say. The thing is, if they're worn down and you feel like you're going to slip, what's going to happen to your grip pressure? You're going to probably grip it tighter anyway. And generally speaking, if you're gripping them on too tight,
I was amazed. They came out the bag, and these were
the
other ones are all
they're a little bit on the
tight.
Yeah. So if we look at the left-hand one as before, again, the turn of the body now is better. On occasions, you do get a little bit steep again. Instinct and old habits are going to die hard, but this is good. As you come back in the golf ball here now, you can see your top half trying to move to the left. There is impact, okay? Your hip now is the furthest thing back, okay, of the body parts trying to golf ball again. It should be almost the other way around again. This almost looks like a left-hander going the other way. Yeah?
So, but all the movements there.
Yeah, the top half.
If you just took that out.
Yeah, there's nothing on it, exactly.
So
your top half.
You see no lateral movement.
Exactly, yeah. So if we look at that image there, that looks as though there's the lead hip now as a left-hander. Hands are kind of just on the ball there, okay? It's to go the other way. So we're going to get that. And then when you go through the ball, obviously that tucked up feeling after the ball now, hands very close to your head here, okay? So if we look at that impact, and then we compare that to this one here now. Again, these are a bit sort of funky type shots, shorter backswing, obviously. There's a bit more hip movement there. There's your impact now. So you can see now we're getting that club a little bit more in front of the ball there. Your left hip now is moving a bit more towards target. If we look at your body post-impact, there's a bit more width there in the arms than you had here, yeah? Now, again, these are smaller swings. This wasn't, I'd say, the best one you did. You did a couple of better ones towards the end there where you started getting that kind of feeling. And I think you've got to be... The two things that you did instinctively before was spin the ball to the right, hit the ground behind the ball. So hitting the ground for you has always been a no-no, isn't it? Yeah, hitting the ground at all has always been, well, it's going to be a bad shot. So, okay, I'll miss the ground. And then a ball curving left to right, someone's like, it's going to spin left to right. So all these movements we see someone like yourself doing this is just somebody just trying to start the ball left of target to allow for the left to right wind spin. And in some ways, when you try to put the club to hit the ground, the instinctive reaction was, no, the ground's a bad thing. No, miss the ground. Well, we know hitting the ground is a good thing. A, it's where you hit the ground and how you hit the ground, yeah? So I think the backswing on occasions, and this is sometimes often happens when you've done a lesson, the first one we talked about, you moved your body nicely, got the body working well, you went to the range, so there's more pulley shots, which is, again, a good sign. When you start seeing pull-ups, it'll make it a little bit easier if you just start the ball right of target, okay? So when you did that better turn, it was good. But then when you start looking at impact now, sometimes the thing from the lesson one, the turn sometimes goes back to the old movement. So always just being aware of kind of where your body's going, okay? But getting into that impact position, what we want to try to see, there's a difference between a cricket shot like this, and an impact position like that where your hands are still down here. So your arm is still putting down the ground, your left wrist in that kind of stronger position, okay? So work on that impact. I would say do these sort of 4 or 5 swings like your warm-up swing, Do these sort of the punchy ones, get the feeling of hitting the ground after the ball. And then once you get a couple of good strikes that are going to probably go left, we can start then getting the feeling of starting right at target, okay? At the moment when you go and play golf, and we do some full swings in a second anyway, just swing the golf club as normal. Don't try and change this for the full swing. These are just drills you're trying to implement into your game to get that feeling, okay? You're not going to play golf just chipping all 50 yards on the fairway. It's pointless, isn't it? So we've got to get the feeling of that impact. And for you, it's just learning what that feels like, Because you've never had that feeling of what a ball then turf contact feels. It's always been a bit turf then ball or no turf at all,
I'll tell you two things that have already felt incredibly alien. And for me, they weren't alien, because for me, for eternity, I've always gone like that.
Just picking up very, exactly, because that's what you did,
So for me,
so taking that club more around.
It like that.
And
almost like I could balance some drinks.
Well, that's what people
I can balance some drinks on the wrist.
It
was a bizarre movement. Because you just think, how on earth?
How does that get back to golf ball?
How on earth can you get that back to golf ball? Because even there, it's still coming up with it. But it's still like there. And it's like I'm just gonna slice this off.
Exactly.
But you do.
It comes back. Exactly. But that feeling of balancing the golf, the glass links on the hand, people actually say when they talk about that right wrist movement, they'll talk about this as if you're trying to hold a tray. That's actually a feeling that a lot of people have in their right wrist. They're holding their right wrist up there, which will get that left wrist here and up there. Hold the tray there. If you're up here doing that, drop them soon. I have a few more shots there with that shorter thing, and we'll go for some longer swings to finish off with, okay?